The sky was a perpetual, unchanging gray, not the soft gray of a cloudy day, but a harsh, metallic gray, a canvas painted by the oppressive hand of the authority. This was Liora's world, a world devoid of sunsets, of starlight, of the natural rhythms that once governed life on Earth. She knew this only from whispers, fragments of stories passed down through generations, stories the authority actively suppressed, deeming them dangerous, destabilizing. Liora lived in Sector 7, a sprawling concrete labyrinth where identical buildings clawed at the perpetually overcast sky. Every building, every street, every citizen was under constant surveillance. The omnipresent drones, silent and watchful, were a stark reminder of the authority's absolute control. They were not merely security, they were a symbol of the regime's omnipotence, a constant pressure on the soul. Life was regimented, predictable, and utterly devoid of joy. The air, though breathable, held a strange, metallic tang, a constant reminder of the artificial atmosphere that choked out the natural world. The citizens, resigned to their fate, moved through their days like automatons, their faces etched with a weary acceptance. There was no rebellion, at least none visible. The authority had successfully crushed the spirit, extinguishing the embers of hope, or so it seemed. But even in this oppressive grayness, a flicker of defiance burned within Liora. A seed of rebellion, nurtured by the stolen stories of a vibrant past, a past painted in colors far richer than the monotonous gray of her present. A past filled with sunsets, stars, and the freedom she had only ever dreamed of. This was the beginning of her story, a story that would challenge the very fabric of this controlled, artificial world. A story that held the potential to illuminate not only her life, but the lives of all those trapped under the perpetual gray. A story that, perhaps, could even bring back the stars. The gray sky wasn't a natural occurrence. That much, Liora knew instinctively. It hung heavy, a suffocating blanket woven from something far more sinister than mere clouds. It was a constant, oppressive presence, a chilling reminder of the power wielded by the authority, a power that extended far beyond the reach of their watchful drones and ever-present patrols. Sometimes, late at night, when the silence of Sector 7 was broken only by the hum of the unseen machinery, Liora would stare up at the unchanging gray, and a strange unease would settle in her bones. It wasn't simply the absence of stars, it was the unnatural stillness of the air, the peculiar metallic tang that clung to everything, the unsettling feeling that something vast and powerful was hidden just beyond the veil of that perpetual twilight. Whispers circulated in the hushed corners of Sector 7, fragments of forgotten knowledge, hinting at a cataclysmic event, a technological catastrophe that had irrevocably altered the world. These whispers spoke of a time before the gray, a time when the sky blazed with color, when the night sky shimmered with countless stars. But these were just whispers, fragments of a lost history, carefully guarded secrets passed down through generations, each retelling slightly different, yet all pointing towards a terrifying truth. The authority, of course, denied everything. They claimed the perpetual gray was a natural phenomenon, a necessary consequence of environmental changes, a sacrifice for the greater good. But Liora knew better. The controlled atmosphere, the constant surveillance, the carefully crafted narrative, it all pointed towards something far more sinister, something deliberately engineered, something hidden behind the impenetrable gray. The truth, she sensed, lay buried beneath layers of carefully constructed lies, waiting to be unearthed, and she was determined to find it. Exploring the forgotten corners of Sector 7, beyond the meticulously maintained pathways and the ever-watchful drones, Liora stumbled upon a forgotten relic, a broken telescope, half buried beneath a pile of rubble. Its brass casing was tarnished, its lenses cracked, but even in its dilapidated state, it exuded an aura of a forgotten elegance, a whisper of a time before the perpetual gray. Dusting off the corroded metal, she traced the intricate carvings on its surface, feeling a strange connection to the unknown craftsman who had once held this instrument, who had once gazed at a sky filled with stars. A surge of curiosity, a yearning for something beyond the suffocating grayness of her world, washed over her. Carefully, she lifted the heavy telescope, its weight strangely comforting in her hands. It was more than just a piece of old technology. It was a tangible link to a past she only knew through fragmented stories. It was a key, perhaps, to unlocking the secrets hidden behind the authorities' carefully constructed lies. The telescope was broken, beyond repair, but the mere act of holding it ignited a spark within Liora. It fueled her determination to uncover the truth, to understand the origins of the perpetual gray, to find out what the authority was so desperately trying to hide. It wasn't just about the stars, it was about freedom, about knowledge, about reclaiming a history that had been stolen. The broken telescope became a symbol of hope, a symbol of rebellion. It was a testament to a past filled with wonder, a past that the authority desperately wanted to erase, but Liora wouldn't let them. She would use this broken instrument, this symbol of a forgotten world, as a catalyst to ignite a revolution, to bring back the light and to reclaim the stars. This was only the beginning. The forbidden knowledge wasn't easily found. It wasn't in libraries or museums. Those places were meticulously controlled, purged of anything that contradicted the authorities' carefully crafted narrative. It lived in whispers, in hushed conversations in the shadows, in fragments of stories passed down through generations, each retelling slightly altered, yet all hinting at a vibrant past. A world bathed in the colors the authority had stolen. Liora found it tucked away in hidden compartments, in forgotten attics, in the crumbling walls of abandoned buildings, faded drawings depicting sunsets ablaze with fiery hues, breathtaking landscapes under star-studded skies, images so vivid they seemed to burn themselves onto her memory. These weren't mere pictures, they were stolen glimpses of a paradise lost, a paradise the authority had systematically erased. Each discovery was a risk, a gamble with her life. The authorities' surveillance was omnipresent. Their spies were everywhere. Possession of such material was a crime punishable by, well, the punishment was never explicitly stated, but the unspoken fear was enough to chill the blood. Yet, the allure of the forbidden knowledge, the tantalizing glimpse of a world beyond the gray, was too strong to resist. The more Liora learned, the more she understood the depth of the authorities' deception. They hadn't just altered the atmosphere, they had rewritten history, suppressed knowledge, and controlled the very narrative of existence. She found evidence of deliberate erasure, of systematic destruction of anything that could remind people of the world that was, a world of beauty and freedom, a world they desperately wanted to forget. But Liora wouldn't let them. She would carry the torch of this forbidden knowledge, sharing it with others, igniting a flame of rebellion against the oppressive darkness. The risk was immense, but the potential reward, the restoration of truth and freedom, was worth fighting for. The encounter happened during the twilight hour, a time when the perpetual gray seemed to deepen, pressing down on the city like a physical weight. Liora, cautiously navigating the labyrinthine alleys of Sector 7, stumbled upon a hidden meeting place, a forgotten underground chamber, dimly lit by flickering oil lamps. There, she met Aaron. Aaron was unlike anyone Liora had ever encountered in Sector 7. There was a fire in their eyes, a spark of defiance that mirrored her own. They didn't need an introduction. The shared glint of rebellion in their gaze spoke volumes. They were both seekers of truth, both yearning for a world beyond the suffocating gray. Aaron, it turned out, had been collecting fragments of the forbidden knowledge for years. Their collection complemented Liora's, filling in gaps, providing context, revealing a more complete picture of the past. Together, they pieced together the fragments of a world lost, a world of vibrant sunsets, star-filled nights, and a natural world teeming with life. Sharing their discoveries felt like a profound act of defiance, a rebellion against the authorities' attempt to erase history. It was a secret shared in hushed tones, a bond forged in the face of oppression. The risk was immense, the consequences unthinkable, yet the act of sharing, of connecting with another soul who understood, was profoundly liberating. In that dimly lit chamber, surrounded by the echoes of a forgotten world, Liora and Aaron found solace and strength in their shared yearning for truth. They were no longer alone in their rebellion. They had found a kindred spirit, a partner in their quest to reclaim their history and, perhaps, their future. The discovery of Aaron wasn't just a meeting, it was the birth of a movement, a small seed of rebellion planted in the heart of the oppressive gray. The whispers spoke of a place beyond the city limits, a forgotten relic from a time before the gray, an observatory. Not just any observatory, but one rumored to hold the key to undoing the authorities' manipulation of the sky, a dangerous hope, a fragile ember of possibility in the suffocating darkness. According to the fragmented accounts, this derelict structure housed powerful technology, remnants of a pre-collapse era, capable of manipulating the artificial atmosphere, perhaps even capable of restoring the natural sky. It was a dangerous lead, a high-stakes gamble. If true, it was their only chance to reclaim the sun, the stars, the very essence of a world they had only glimpsed in faded drawings and hushed whispers. The journey to the observatory was fraught with peril. They had to navigate treacherous terrain, avoid the ever-present drones, and evade the authorities' patrols. Every rustle in the wind, every shadow, felt like a potential threat. But the thought of a sky ablaze with color, a night sky glittering with stars, fueled their determination, pushing them forward. Reaching the observatory was like entering a forgotten shrine. The building was dilapidated, decaying, yet it stood as a silent testament to a time of scientific advancement, a time before the oppressive gray had claimed the world. Within its crumbling walls lay the potential to rewrite history, to reclaim a future stolen from them. Their hope, however fragile, was centered on this dangerous gamble. The observatory wasn't just a building, it was a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope against the overwhelming darkness. Their plan was audacious, bordering on suicidal. To hack into the authorities' atmospheric control system, a system designed to be impenetrable, was a task that seemed impossible, yet it was their only hope. Aaron, with their expertise in salvage technology, had devised a plan, a delicate dance of code and cunning, a desperate attempt to override the system's security protocols. The observatory's mainframe, a relic of a bygone era, hummed with a faint, ominous energy. Dust motes danced in the weak light as Aaron worked tirelessly, their fingers flying across the archaic keyboard, their brow furrowed in concentration. Liora stood guard, her senses heightened, her hand resting on the makeshift weapon she carried. Every second felt like an eternity, the silence punctuated only by the rhythmic clicking of the keys and the faint whirring of the aging machinery. The challenge was immense. The system was layered with complex security measures, firewalls designed to withstand any intrusion. Each line of code was a battle, a test of skill and patience. Aaron's fingers moved with a frantic grace, battling against the clock, against the ever-present threat of discovery. The tension was palpable, a thick, suffocating blanket of suspense. One wrong move, one slip-up, could mean capture, imprisonment, or worse. The air crackled with anticipation as Aaron neared the final stages of the hack. Sweat beaded on their forehead, their breath coming in short, sharp gasps. Success was within reach, but the final hurdle remained. A complex encryption key, the last line of defense guarding the heart of the system. The stakes were higher than ever, the weight of their world resting on the delicate balance of a few lines of code. The suspense was almost unbearable, every moment echoing with the possibility of success or catastrophic failure. A deafening siren pierced the silence, shattering the tense concentration. Red lights flashed, painting the observatory in an ominous glow. Lockdown. The authority had detected their intrusion. The city plunged into darkness, the artificial gray deepening into an impenetrable black, the usual muted hum of the city replaced by the chilling silence of fear. Panic threatened to overwhelm them, but they fought it back. There was no time for fear. They had to finish what they'd started. Aaron, their fingers still dancing across the keyboard, muttered instructions, their voice tight with urgency. Liora, adrenaline coursing through her veins, moved with a newfound efficiency, frantically searching for a way to disrupt the authorities' surveillance systems. The lockdown wasn't just a precaution, it was a siege. The observatory was surrounded, they were trapped. Their only chance was to finish the hack before the authorities' forces breached the building. Every second felt like a lifetime. The ticking clock, a relentless countdown to their inevitable capture. They worked in a feverish rhythm, a desperate ballet of code and action. Aaron wrestled with the encryption, their fingers blurring in a desperate attempt to unlock the final key. Liora fought the surveillance systems, desperately trying to mask their digital footprints. The air was thick with tension, the only sound, the frantic clatter of the keyboard and the rhythmic thump of Liora's heart. Outside, the sounds of approaching boots echoed through the decaying walls, a chilling reminder of their precarious situation. The final moments before the inevitable breakthrough were filled with a desperate struggle against overwhelming odds, a race against time fueled by a fragile hope. The final line of code was entered. Aaron leaned back, their face pale but triumphant. The mainframe hummed, the ancient machinery groaning under the strain of the immense power surging through its circuits. The air crackled with anticipation, thick with the weight of their actions, the culmination of years of struggle, of defiance, of hope. Liora held her breath, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum. Outside, the sounds of the approaching authority grew louder, closer. They were running out of time. Aaron reached for a large archaic lever, its metallic surface cold and smooth beneath their trembling fingers. This was it, the moment of truth. A deep breath, a silent prayer, and then, with a decisive movement, Aaron pulled the lever. The observatory's core shuddered, groaning under the immense pressure. Lights flickered, then blazed with an intense, almost blinding light. A low hum filled the air, growing steadily louder, more powerful, resonating with a primal energy that seemed to shake the very foundations of the building. The mainframe sputtered, then settled into a steady rhythm, a new song of defiance against the oppressive silence. The air vibrated with power, with the promise of change. The ground trembled beneath their feet, a physical manifestation of the shift in the balance of power. In that moment, suspended between hope and fear, they knew they had succeeded, but the true consequences of their actions remained to be seen. The artificial sky, the symbol of oppression, was about to meet its end. The climax was upon them, and the future remained uncertain. Then, a crack, a fissure in the perpetual gray. A tear in the fabric of their reality. The artificial sky, the oppressive blanket that had shrouded their world for so long, began to fracture, revealing a glimpse of what lay beyond. A gasp escaped Liora's lips, a sound of awe and disbelief. Aaron stood frozen, their eyes wide with wonder. The crack widened, expanding into a breathtaking vista. A vibrant sunset, a spectacle of color they had only ever seen in faded images, painted the sky with fiery hues of orange, red, and purple. It was a breathtaking masterpiece, a testament to the beauty they had almost forgotten. The colors were intense, almost unreal, a stark contrast to the monotonous gray they had grown accustomed to. Shades of crimson and gold bled into each other, creating a mesmerizing spectacle of light and shadow. It was a symphony of colors, a vibrant explosion of life and beauty that filled them with a sense of wonder. It was more than just a sunset. It was a symbol of hope, a promise of a brighter future. And then, as the artificial sky continued to recede, the stars emerged. Countless stars, glittering like diamonds scattered across a velvet cloth, filled the night sky. They twinkled and shimmered, a breathtaking celestial display that filled them with a sense of awe and wonder. It was a sight they had only dreamed of, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the beauty that still existed, even in this broken world. The emotional impact was profound, a wave of overwhelming emotion that washed over them, a blend of joy, relief, and a profound sense of hope. The gray was gone, at least for now. A breach had been made. News of the breach spread like wildfire. People poured out into the streets, their faces tilted upwards, their eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and wonder. For the first time in their lives, they saw the real sky. The vibrant sunset, a spectacle of color beyond their wildest dreams, painted the sky in hues they had only ever seen in ancient, forbidden texts. A collective gasp rose from the crowds, a wave of emotion sweeping through the city. Tears welled in eyes long accustomed to the monotonous gray. Whispers turned to shouts, disbelief to joyous cries. It was a moment of shared wonder, a collective awakening. The sight was overwhelming, a powerful reminder of the beauty they had been denied for so long. The stars, countless glittering jewels scattered across the velvet expanse of night, filled them with a sense of awe and freedom. They had been told the stars were a myth, a fairy tale from a lost era. Now, they saw the truth. The vastness of the universe, the infinite possibilities it represented, filled them with a sense of hope, a belief in a future beyond the oppressive gray. It was more than just a celestial display. It was a symbol of liberation, a testament to the human spirit's resilience. The oppressive weight of the authorities' control seemed to lift, replaced by a surge of defiance and a newfound sense of freedom. The emotional impact was profound, a shared experience that forged a powerful bond between strangers. In that moment, under the real sky, they were united, not by fear, but by hope. A new dawn was breaking, and the future, once shrouded in gray, now shimmered with the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The brief glimpse of the real sky, though fleeting, planted seeds of rebellion in the hearts of the people. A subtle shift began, almost imperceptible at first, but growing steadily stronger. The fear that had once paralyzed them began to wane, replaced by a quiet defiance, a nascent courage. People started to speak more openly, their voices carrying a newfound strength. The hushed whispers of dissent grew louder, more frequent, echoing through the city's shadowed streets. Acts of small rebellion became commonplace. A defiant smile, a shared glance of understanding, a whispered word of defiance against the authority. The monotonous conformity that had defined their lives began to crumble. Individuals started to express their individuality, their unique identities, no longer constrained by the oppressive uniformity imposed by the authority. Clothing became brighter, music filled the air, and laughter, once a rare sound, echoed through the city streets. The authorities' omnipresent surveillance, once a source of fear, now felt less potent, its grip weakening. People began to question the authorities' control, their lies, their manipulations. The shared experience of witnessing the real sky had forged a bond between them, a collective consciousness that transcended fear. It was a silent rebellion, a quiet uprising fueled by a shared hope, a shared dream of a world bathed in the light of the real sky, a world free from the oppressive gray. The seeds of rebellion had been sown, and they were beginning to sprout. The authorities' response was swift and brutal. The artificial sky, the symbol of their oppressive control, was restored, plunging the city back into its monotonous gray, but the damage had been done. The brief glimpse of the real sky, the vibrant sunset, the glittering stars, had left an indelible mark on the population. The gray sky now held a different meaning. It was no longer simply a backdrop to their lives, but a constant reminder of what had been lost and what could be regained. The fear remained, but it was tempered by a newfound defiance, a quiet determination that burned beneath the surface. The experience had awakened something within them, a sense of hope that the authorities' control could be broken. The restoration of the artificial sky didn't extinguish the spark of rebellion. Instead, it fueled it. The memory of the real sky, the vibrant colors, the infinite stars, became a source of strength, a symbol of their shared defiance. It was a secret they held close, a shared experience that bound them together, a reminder of their collective power. The authorities' attempt to erase the memory of the real sky only strengthened the resolve of the people. The gray was still there, but it was no longer absolute. It was now a canvas upon which the dream of a brighter future was painted, a testament to the enduring human spirit and a promise of an eventual return to the light. The fight was far from over, but the seeds of change had been sown, and they would not be easily suppressed. The gray sky might have returned, but the people were different now, forever changed by the fleeting glimpse of true beauty. The gray sky returned, a heavy blanket smothering the city once more. But the oppressive weight felt different now. A subtle shift had occurred, an almost imperceptible change in the atmosphere, mirroring the change within the hearts of the people. The fear remained, but it was now interwoven with a thread of defiance, a quiet resolve that refused to be extinguished. The authorities' control, once absolute, felt less secure. The people carried a secret within them, a shared memory of a vibrant sunset, a glittering night sky. It was a secret that fueled their defiance, a source of strength in the face of oppression. Their smiles held a newfound confidence, their movements a subtle defiance against the enforced conformity. The gray sky might have returned, but it couldn't erase the memory of the real sky. It couldn't extinguish the spark of hope that had been ignited. The people continued their daily routines, but their perspectives had changed. They looked at the gray sky not with resignation, but with a quiet determination. It was a constant reminder of what they had lost, and a powerful motivator to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. The subtle acts of rebellion continued, small gestures of defiance against the authorities' control. A shared glance, a whispered word, a defiant act of self-expression. These seemingly insignificant acts were fueled by the lingering hope, the enduring memory of a sky filled with color and light. The gray might have returned, but the hope remained, a flickering flame stubbornly refusing to be extinguished. It was a hope that would eventually burn bright, illuminating the path towards a future free from the perpetual gray. The authorities' response was swift and brutal. The brief moment of rebellion, the shared experience of witnessing the real sky, was met with a wave of repression. Curfews were imposed, patrols intensified, and surveillance increased tenfold. The streets, once filled with the quiet murmur of defiance, were now eerily silent, the atmosphere thick with fear. Propaganda machines churned out fabricated narratives, twisting the truth, painting the glimpse of the real sky as a hallucination, a collective delusion. The authorities sought to erase the memory, to extinguish the spark of rebellion before it could ignite a full-scale uprising. They increased their control, tightening their grip on the population, attempting to snuff out the lingering hope. Yet, their efforts proved futile. The memory of the real sky, the vibrant sunset, the countless stars remained etched in the minds of the people. It was a shared secret, a source of strength, a constant reminder of the beauty they had been denied. The authorities' attempts to control information only served to strengthen the people's resolve. The gray sky might have returned, but so had the quiet defiance. The regime's heavy-handed tactics only served to solidify the bonds between the people. They communicated in hushed tones, sharing stories, reinforcing their shared experience. The rebellion had gone underground, but it continued to simmer, a quiet fire burning beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt into a raging inferno. The authorities' response had backfired, forging a stronger, more united resistance. The fight for freedom was far from over. The fate of Liora and Aaron remained uncertain, shrouded in the oppressive gray of the city. Their daring act of rebellion, their attempt to reclaim the natural sky, had left them vulnerable, exposed to the full force of the authorities' wrath. Yet, even in the face of adversity, their spirits remained unbroken. Their defiance had inspired others, igniting a spark of hope that could not be easily extinguished. Though their immediate future was veiled in uncertainty, the impact of their actions reverberated throughout the city. Their bravery became a legend, whispered in hushed tones among those who dared to dream of a brighter future. They became symbols of resistance, embodying the unwavering human spirit that refused to be crushed by oppression. The authorities' attempts to erase their memory, to suppress their story, only served to amplify their legacy. Their names became synonymous with defiance, hope, and the enduring quest for freedom. Even in captivity, their influence persisted, a silent testament to the power of a single act of rebellion. Their story became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could prevail. The memory of their bravery, their unwavering commitment to their cause, continued to inspire others to resist, to challenge the authorities' oppressive rule. Liora and Aaron's fate remained unknown, yet their impact was undeniable, a testament to the enduring power of hope and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Their story lived on, whispered from heart to heart, a silent promise of a future bathed in the light of the real sky. The gray sky remained, a constant reminder of the authorities' control. But the city was different. A subtle shift had occurred, a quiet defiance simmering beneath the surface. The memory of the real sky, the vibrant sunset, the countless stars lived on, a shared secret binding the people together. It was a memory that could not be erased, a hope that could not be extinguished. The seeds of rebellion had been sown, nurtured by the shared experience of witnessing true beauty. The authorities' oppressive regime might have tightened its grip, but it could not erase the indelible mark left by the fleeting glimpse of the real sky. The people carried the memory within them, a source of strength in their silent resistance. The future remained uncertain, a tapestry woven with threads of hope and fear. The path to freedom would be long and arduous, fraught with challenges and setbacks. Yet, the unwavering spirit of defiance, ignited by the memory of a vibrant sky, burned brightly, illuminating the way forward. The fight for a brighter future, a future where the sun sets in a blaze of glory and the stars glitter in the vast expanse of the night sky, had only just begun. The gray might remain for now, but the unwavering hope for a new dawn, a dawn where the true sky reigns supreme, persisted, a testament to the enduring human spirit. The story of Liora and Aaron and the countless others who followed in their footsteps would continue to inspire generations to come, ensuring that the memory of the real sky never faded. The gray sky remained, a constant, oppressive presence, yet beneath its suffocating blanket, a quiet revolution brewed. The memory of the real sky, the vibrant sunset, the breathtaking expanse of stars, lived on, a shared secret whispering hope in the hearts of the people. It was a powerful force, this collective memory, a testament to the human spirit's resilience. The authorities' iron grip might have tightened, their surveillance intensified, but they could not erase the image seared into the collective consciousness. The brief glimpse of beauty had become a symbol, a beacon of hope in the perpetual gray. It was a reminder of what had been lost, and a powerful motivator to reclaim it. The whispered stories of sunsets and stars became a form of resistance, a quiet rebellion against the suffocating control of the authority. Each shared memory, each recounted detail, was an act of defiance, a refusal to let the past be erased. The enduring power of memory, the collective yearning for a natural sky, became a force more potent than any weapon. Even under the oppressive weight of the artificial atmosphere, the human spirit refused to be dimmed. The memory of the real sky, passed down through generations, served as a potent reminder that beauty, freedom, and hope could endure, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. It was a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, a flame that burned brightly, refusing to be extinguished by the perpetual gray. The fight for a natural sky, for a future where beauty was not a forbidden memory, was far from over, but the hope remained, unwavering and strong.